rocking a ponytail. When you look at me. Woo! Ow. Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a video on music show programs. I've gotten a lot of questions on this topic and I just thought that it'll be good to just touch up on every little thing about music show programs. I don't know if this video is going to be just one video or if I'm going to be splitting it into two videos, but I mean, we'll see. If I do not touch up on a lot of things and you guys still have a lot of questions on music show programs, then I will be going ahead and making another video answering the questions that I didn't touch up on. So, you know, feel free to leave the comments down below if there are things that I didn't talk about and you guys are curious about. I just wrote down a couple of things that I'm going to be talking about today, so just so you guys know what the video is going to be about. I'm going to be talking about lip syncing, pre-recording, rehearsals, stage sets, and the order of the groups. Also, how you know when a group is good at live, the best music show, the worst music show, and yeah, I'm just going to be talking about that. Woo! Okay, let's get to it. Also, before I start off the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys haven't already subscribed. We are almost at the 100,000 mark and I am super thankful. My goal is to hit the 100,000 mark within April. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen, but I mean, let's try to make it happen if we can. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is lip syncing. You guys asked me, do a lot of groups do lip syncing, or you know, what cases are lip syncings approved? And I'm just going to be just talking about that. Not a lot of music show programs or broadcasting stations let you do like a full lip syncing of the thing, and if you do, you are going to be having to do it over like a pre-recorded vocal like track. And that happens when you have like too much choreography going on, or like the performance is just like really crazy, so that they want you to have steady vocals. So then if you have like a pre-recorded performance, they will usually put in a pre-recorded live. It does depend, like obviously you could do a pre-recorded performance and then just sing live as well, but a lot of companies do pre-recorded lives at the same time, and basically you just go into the studio and you sing your part, but it's a lot more clean and raw than like just like everything touched up. So you guys might realize about the pre-recording lives when you guys see like MR removal, because when there's MR removal, then you get to see that they weren't actually singing. And there was a lot of controversy too about pre-recorded vocals and just like the tracks, but for me, I do think that if you do want to perfect every way of a performance and make it look good, that sometimes it is okay to use pre-recorded vocals, just not too much, you know, to know that like perfect balance. Also, there's something that I wanted to say. There is actually a percentage that the music show programs give for the pre-recorded vocals, and you guys are just, I'm pretty sure nobody knows about this. There is like 30%, 50%, and 70%. So 30% is when the vocals are a lot lower, 50% is when it's a little bit louder, 70% is when obviously it's a lot more, and then 100% is when it's like lip syncing. Usually they do not allow 100%, and it's so crazy because I don't know if I'm like giving like secrets away, but I mean, who cares? When there's like a track, the main vocal will usually get around like 30, and then the member who might not be good at singing might get 70, and then the members who are just like okay might get 50. So it's different too. It's not gonna be always just like a same like 30 or like 50, 70. I mean, there might be groups that do that, but most of the time it is going to be a little bit different. And also another thing that is crazy is usually when it's like the end, or like the end of like a certain part of the song, when you look at me, like the me, like when you look at me, the me might be a lot like higher in like the vocals, and that is because you run out of breath while you are dancing and singing, and yeah, sometimes you might need a little oomph, you know? And yeah, that's something that I really wanted to say. I remember each member was different, and Sometimes I would even like ask my producer or just like my company if there was a part that was really difficult, like while I was doing a live and while I was just like doing the performance. I would ask them, oh, in this part can you just like raise it to 50? And for those of you guys who are wondering, I usually did it at 30. And sometimes it would be really hard, and the worst part is, guys, is that when you do it at 30 and that day your vocals might not be great, the person who's doing 50 and 70, they're gonna be sounding a lot better than you are. Oh, I just remember there were so many times where I would just like be really disappointed because I'm like, oh, I'm the one that's actually singing more live, but you know, just like the other person who has like 70% on their track is gonna sound better. So let me know what you guys think about pre-recorded vocals, because I'm pretty sure you guys didn't know that there were percentages of what music show programs allow. There are some music show programs who only allow 30. There are some music show programs who don't really have like a preference. So it's just all different. But yeah, let me know on the comments down below. And I'm also going to be talking about just pre-recording performances. So pre-recording performances are usually given to people who are more well-known, and also, or the company, they will actually pay for the pre-recording. And I don't know if you guys know about this, but for big groups that have like comebacks and you guys see their stages, and if it's like really like crazy, usually most of the time the company is putting money into the stage sets, and basically the more money you put in, the better stage you get. So you guys are going to be knowing why there are some people or some rookies who might not even have like any stage sets at all, or just that. And yeah, it's actually like, it feels really good when you do have a stage set, but just the way the performance comes out, it just looks so much better visually. Even sometimes if you do not pay the broadcasting stations, if you are a more well-known group, they might also set up a stage for you. Maybe not something too big, but they will try their best, because for a bigger artist to come onto their music show program, it's more of a plus. So that's why they always try to cater to just more well-known groups. Also, a lot of rookie groups at the same time, when it's their first music show program, the entertainment company that they're under might be spending a lot of money onto the stage sets as well, because it is their debut and they want to make the stage look the best as possible. So that is another thing. And now we're going to be talking about, I wrote this down because there's like so many things that I want to talk about. We're going to be talking about just rehearsals and the order of the group. So rehearsals happen usually 2 times. Some music programs do 3, but usually 2 times. It is a dry rehearsal, which you have your name tags on, and also a camera rehearsal. So the dry rehearsal is that you have your name tags on and you're doing it. Is basically just for the cameramen to know who you are, and they're just getting ready to see, you know, how the performance looks like. And then also to see if there is like anything that they want you to change in the choreography. Either is like when you're walking into the stage or when you're leaving the stage. Sometimes they want you to walk onto the stage a certain way and then leave the stage a certain way. So this is something that, you know, is the reason why they do like a dry rehearsal. And then the camera rehearsal comes on, and that is when the cameras turn on exactly how they are going to be turned on during the live. And this is something else that I wanted to talk about. I don't know, I'm not going to get too into the camera part because that in itself is like so much information. So if you guys do want a video on just like the camera work and stuff, please let me know, because I do want to make another video about just like cameras in general, finding the camera, or just like, yeah. So let me know if you guys want that. And something that I want to do, basically the order of the groups. You guys will probably know that there are always going to be a certain order in the group, and usually rookies are going to be towards the front, or the people who might not be well known are going to be towards the front. And this is because they want to save the best for last. I remember, like, for me, when I first debuted, or even just like after a couple of comebacks, you definitely see like you moving towards like the back, not like towards the way back, but then like you were not gonna be first, but then when you are usually fresh, like off the counter, then they will put you first. Also, I just remember in each room when you are waiting, like your waiting room, there's like a list of which order it's going to be and like when they're gonna put in just the MCs talking or when they're gonna put in like a video, which is so crazy. But every time, like as soon as you go into the waiting room, you can see who's first, or you know, like, oh, we're like third today, or like we're like number one today. And yeah, it's actually pretty nerve-wracking to be the first one on the stage because you guys are starting off the show, and usually the people who start off the show are going to be rookies or people who are not well known, and it's just like a lot of burden because you're starting off the show for everyone in the back. So if you screw up or if like it's not good, then you know the people in the back like are going to be having to deal with whatever you did on the stage. So it's kind of, it was like a very nerve-wracking experience for me too, because there were a couple of times where my group did, you know, start off the show, and it was just kind of very nerve-wracking because you know that everybody is watching you right when the show starts, and like all the fans are just waiting for that music show program to start, and you're gonna be starting off the show. So yeah, even thinking about it now kind of just gives me like anxiety. I remember I really didn't like starting off the show like first. You know, when it's like the third performance or the fourth performance, it's not as bad because, you know, there was other teams before you and you're kind of in the middle, so you're kind of like mixing in with everybody. But definitely, yeah, that's something I want to talk about. How do you know when a group is good at live? I got a lot of questions on this as well. Artists know when a group is good at live because if you guys know, while a group is performing on stage, the next group that is going up is putting on their mics and they could hear every vocal of the group that's on stage before. So I remember, you know, for example, if there's like group A who's performing and I'll be putting on my mic, I'll be like, oh, this person's the main vocal, like the person who's singing, or like, oh, this person put in a lot of like, you know, pre-recording, or they're singing on top of like a vocal track. And it was definitely, I feel like, more than like you seeing it on like the TV and you hearing it on the TV, you could definitely hear it when you're backstage. There was actually a lot of groups I was very impressed with while I was backstage and then I was waiting, because you know, it's actually super hard. You could hear everything. You could hear all of their just like breathing, and you could hear like every little detail when you're backstage. It's pretty crazy to be monitoring them, and pretty sure a lot of groups monitored me too, and I don't know what they thought, but yeah, you basically know like, oh, that group's good at live or that group's not good at live. Also, this is something that I just kind of wanted to clear out, how music show programs work. And it is so crazy. So when the music show program starts, there are going to be like a video intro, and then the first group goes in live, and then after they'll like go to like the MC, and then there'll be another group coming in live, or after they'll have like a video and then there'll be like a pre-recorded video or like a pre-recorded performance that will be on the TV. And for those of you guys who have been to music show programs, I'm pretty sure you guys know how it works out, but it is definitely a lot different than when you see it. A show that I want to see that is a little bit more visible will probably be Show Champion, because when you see MC Shin talking, sometimes you can see the groups leaving like in and out of the stage. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. If you are, you know, pre-recorded and you did a pre-recorded performance already before you started the live show program, most of the times you aren't going to be doing like the choreography that like hard, or the performance. The cameras aren't going to be like turned on. You're just going to be just dancing on stage, and then you're going to probably be leaving like 30 to 40 seconds before the next live performance comes on. And I'm pretty sure for those of you guys who have been to music show programs have seen this, but if you guys did not know, that is how it works out, how pre-recorded and lives they go back to back. So this is kind of like the part that might be spilling a little bit of tea, but I'm going to be talking about the best music show programs in my opinion and the worst music show programs in my opinion. No hate, I am just, you know, saying my opinion on this. Let's just go for my favorite music show program because I want to just save like the worst for last. My favorite music show program definitely is Inkigayo, and that is because the lighting is so good, the camera work is good, and also it's the shortest. Basically, the amount of time that you spent at a music show program, I would have to say Inkigayo is the shortest. It's very quick. It ends in like, you know, I would say within 5 hours, like all the rehearsals, the live show programs, and then the backstage and everything. For me, I just liked Inkigayo the best. I felt like it had the best stage, you know, and it just was like a very good vibe for me. I just liked really going to Inkigayo, and also like the food there is really good, like the Inkigayo sandwiches. I'm pretty sure you guys heard about that, so yeah. And I've never received the Inkigayo sandwich. I don't know, like everyone like is talking about like the Inkigayo sandwich. There are gonna be probably people who do that, but I wouldn't say that that is the #1 thing to be, you know, giving in order to like exchange numbers. There's so many other ways. If you guys are interested in that, please leave a comment down below and maybe I will try to make a video on that as well. And woo! So the worst music show program is probably gonna be Music Bank, and that is because it takes the whole day. It is so crazy. So basically, I remember when I did Music Bank, I would go to the shop around 5 a.m. I'm not talking 5 p.m., 5 a.m. and you would just do minimal makeup because you're obviously going to be having to spend the whole day. You do minimal makeup and then you wear your clothes and then you go to the 출근기, which is like on the way to rehearsal. There'll be a bunch of photographers, a bunch of news portals, and a bunch of fans just waiting to see you guys going into rehearsal. And that happens around like 7 to 8. And then you have dry rehearsals then. That is when you have, as I said, just the name tags, and then you just go up and then go to your turn. And then after, you have around like another 5 to 6 hours till they start doing dry rehearsals or like camera rehearsals. Music Bank has 3 rehearsals. I don't know why they do 3 rehearsals, usually it's only 2. And after, what happens is when you are done with dry rehearsals, you go back to your shop, get your makeup done fully, and then wear your stage clothes. I'm not talking, you don't wear your stage clothes when you first go to Music Bank. And then you go back to Music Bank and then wait till it's your turn to do another rehearsal. And then you come back down and you're still waiting again. And then you do another camera rehearsal. And you come back down and you're waiting again. And then the show starts. Then you go back on stage and you come back down. And then you're waiting again. And then you just, you know, it ends there. So it's so crazy because the show ends around like 7, and then like after you are done getting ready and then all the staff, and you just say like, you know, say thank you to the PDs and also like the writers. It ends around like 8, and then by the time you're home it's like 9. So Music Bank takes the whole day, and it is just like pretty draining because the worst part is you can't even sleep like in the car ride like going to Music Bank, or just like sleep too much because you're gonna get bloated, and then while the news portals or fans are taking a picture, like you want to like cute, you want to look like good. So I just remember it was just like a long day after Music Bank. But yeah, Music Bank though, they do have really good lighting and really good camera work, so that is something that's a plus. But I just feel like they should really shorten the times, or like maybe, you know, have the going to work or like the 출근길 사진, like, and like the picture thing a little bit later. I don't know why it's so early. I know it might just sound like I'm like complaining, but I am probably not the only one who feels this way, because you do 3 rehearsals and you're basically there for around more than 12 hours. So, and what a lot of companies do usually, since there's so much downtime when you have music bank, they will put in like a radio gig in between, or they'll do like a little bit like an event. So that is something that I want to say, that is how companies will use the time when it's, you know, music bank to the best, because there's just so much downtime and there's so much time to kill. I hope you guys like this video. Comment down below if you guys have any more questions, and if there are a lot more questions that I didn't answer, I will try my best to make another video on that. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get to that 100,000 mark by April, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye!
I should catch up on my eating, yeah, but it's hard to keep a thought straight with you all up in my face. Try to get you out my mind, but why should I when you're all I really like, yeah. I feel higher than a mountain, all because of you.